What's up everyone on the internet? Thank you for making this video part today. I'm so excited to upload this one for you guys because for this video we'll be taking a look at Chris Noland's latest film that I've been dying to watch, and that would be Tenet. So this movie came out back in late 2020, but was released in select theaters because at the time we were in the middle of a pandemic. But even though this movie didn't get that much of a wide release, I was able to watch it earlier this year when it became available on HBO Max. Anyway, the movie follows an American spy, and now that I think about it, he didn't have a name. No, seriously, on IMDb, he's only known as the protagonist and is played by John David Washington. And if he looks and sounds familiar, he's actually Denzel Washington's kid. But anyway, the movie takes place in the somewhat distant future where it's become possible to manipulate time by inverting it. Now, while it's not technically traveling back in time, inverting time is when you physically travel backwards in time. Yeah, I know it's a bit confusing, but just bear with me. With inversion, you are literally reversing object's action back to its origin, meaning if you drop a coin with inversion, that coin will come back up from the surface back to your hand to where it started. And if you travel back in time with inversion, you're going to be going to the past, but everything you do in the past is going to be in reverse, as opposed to regular time travel where you can go back in time and do everything forward, but you're in the past as well. To put it in perspective, it's like if you watch a video but you started at the end of the video and then you watched it in reverse to go back to the beginning of the video. Time travel. But going back to inversion, one of the things that I really liked about the movie is how the visual effects are pretty crazy when you see bullets traveling backwards and explosions being sucked inward to the point where nothing even happened at all. Also, while we're on the topic of visual effects, as we all know, Chris Noland just loves one-upping each of his movies by increasing the practical effects in order to wow audiences. And for Tenet, he goes big to the point where I think it's going to be hard to top this one, because one of the selling points of the movie was where he decides to crash and blow up a real Boeing 747 airplane. Holy crap, when you watch that scene, you are, no pun intended, blown away when you see a real 747 crash into a building before being engulfed by flames. Honestly, I don't know how he's gonna top this one, but I got a feeling when he does his next movie, it's gonna be special. So going back to the story, the overall plot pretty much involves our protagonist trying to stop the bad guy from starting World War III, and when you think about it, the idea of World War III doesn't involve nuclear weapons. Instead, it tries to use the concept of inversion as a weapon. It's a little more complicated than that, but that's the overall gist of it. One thing you should know is that the dialogue in this movie is very intellectual. What I mean by that is that some of the conversations that these characters have are very lengthy and provide a lot of plot exposition to the point where you actually need subtitles to understand what is going on. And even if you manage to understand what everyone is saying, you probably need to watch the movie a second time to fully grasp the overall plot of the story. But one of the things that I really loved about the film is how the story peppers in several moments throughout the entire movie that make you want to remember, because as we move throughout the film, we begin to see how those small moments begin to pay off. Also, looking at the overall structure of the story, one could say that it sort of resembles to the Doppler effect, where both the beginning and the end are very identical to one another, but as we move further in, that is where we begin to see certain elements get placed and how the dots begin to connect. And as we reach toward the focal point, that is where the movie just kicks into high gear. I don't know if that made any sense to you, but if you watch the film, you'll probably see what I mean. But overall, I really enjoyed the movie as it shows that Chris Noland can go beyond our imagination and tell a really good story. I also like the fact that this is pretty much his spy movie, because when you look at his filmography, he shot his superhero trilogy with Batman, he made a heist film with Inception, he told his space odyssey with Interstellar, and now he has Tenet as his spy movie. It just makes you wonder, what other popular subgenre of film will he take on next? Well, that's going to do it for this video, guys. That was my overall review for Tenet. If you like what you saw, click the subscribe button so you can get the latest updates from this channel. I'll see you all next time with a brand new video. Bye-bye.